Namaste ji, namaste. Welcome to another episode of TLOI Talks. Now, in this series, and this is episode number 51, in the last 50 episodes of this very series, we have discussed the in and out of all the most frequently asked questions about a career in law. Whether it's the difference between 3-year LLBs or 5-year LLBs, how to play the career in law game, how do you exactly increase your skills for a better job placement, how do you get better internships, etc. Everything has been discussed, and this has saved a lot many careers based on the feedback that I've received. So do explore the playlist. Now coming to the point, I very recently got a comment which I'll put on the screen as well. I'm 26, am I late for LLB? Now this is a very frequent comment that we keep on getting, and therefore this episode now exists. See, the answer to all of these questions is yes and no both based on your situation. So presuming that you are 26, you will 90% of the cases, or even 99% of the cases, you will be following the 3-year LLB route. So by the time that you graduate, you will be 29, which isn't exactly that late. Now you will say, but my peers, they are graduating at 21 plus 3, that is 24. I am at 29. ठीक है, 2 साल 2-3 साल आप हॉस्पिटल में थे, ऐसे ही कुछ प्रिज्यूम करना पड़ेगा, and you really couldn't pursue your career path. It isn't exactly that late, but the doors start closing down on you as soon as you are reaching, well, let's say 30 to 33. If you want to let's say, pursue a career in judiciary. So Delhi Judicial Services, at the subordinate level, the doors close down, not at the high level, at the subordinate level. So therein we can say that if your plan is that, well, then you start thinking about something else. Secondly, if your plan is purely litigation, the older you are, the better it is. भाई थोड़ा सा गंजपन आ गया है सर पे, थोड़े से यहाँ से बाल थोड़े सफ़ेद सफ़ेद हो गए हैं, provides a better look to the client कि हाँ, I'm talking to a much more mature, much more wise person, and even the courts treat you a bit differently rather than when you are absolutely young and then you are appearing in front of, let's say, an older bench. All of these things definitely do matter. So age really isn't exactly a huge factor in the litigation side of things, in litigation game. Now corporate law game again is a separate story altogether, and obviously since people who will be graduating at 18 plus 5, usually that's 90% of the crowd there, they will be placed at 23, at the age of 23, wherein you will be joining that rat race at the age of 29. So you are pretty much behind by 6 years. You can do a bit of catching up by developing some other skill, and we've already spoken about that. But now, primarily spoken about that in the series, that is. Now, but primarily speaking, when you are 29, when you're graduating at 29, people start out at 29. Sometimes Delhi University, you will see a lot many people in the batches at the age of 29 in the first year. My only question to you is your family ready to support you if you are willing to pursue litigation? So if you want to be a full-fledged vakil, you want to be in the courts, because it takes a certain amount of time to get the grahaks to you, depending on your language skills, depending on your presentation skills, depending on the way that you can comprehend a given issue and provide a solution for it, and depends on how impressed your seniors are with you, because they are the ones primarily giving you work. And to build this base, to get this momentum going, so from 29 till about 32, 33, expect a little uphill climb, but it isn't really impossible. No, absolutely, you're not late. You're not late at 29, you're not late at 31. It isn't late to do anything. In fact, Sanskrit में एक शब्द है अथ. अगर आप सप्तशती पढ़ते हैं या कुछ भी बेसिकली पढ़ते हैं, हमारा हर पाठ, हर स्तोत्र में अथ, begins, life begins now. अब जो हो गया सो हो गया, अतीत में जो है उसका तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते, पछतावा करके क्या करें, कुछ भी करके क्या करें. खैर ऐसे ज्ञान प्रवचन अगर आपको सुनना, so we have a personal channel as well, you can listen there. I won't go into all these personal gyan kathas that I have a tendency to start out with, but if your family is willing to support you, yes, Now comes the point. Let us say that you belong to an extremely humble background. You are not coming from money. Your financial backing isn't exactly great, and you pretty much were expecting in litigation to earn 50 to 70,000 odd rupees right after your graduation. May just not be possible. You may just end up in a lot of financial trouble, so keep that in mind. So that is why my question is your family willing to support you through the initial grind? Because if they are, go ahead. If they are not, pursue a MBA, pursue a master's, get into a standard job. Money is important in life. You any which way have a limited life, so it's a 0 to 70 game. 0, 70, 35 is the peak. All right, so 0 to 35 and 35 to 70. That's pretty much 35 to 70 you're declining, 0 to 35 while you're growing, right? And during this phase, let us say that you pursue law, and then basically you are dead stuck क्योंकि उतना पैसा तो मिल नहीं रहा, and your family was financially dependent on you. You were also hoping कि जी भाई साहब इतना पैसा तो मुझे मिलना चाहिए, and let us say that you are a full-fledged lawyer. May just not be the case. तो किसी एक महीने में आप 1 लाख रुपए भी कमा लेंगे, किसी अगले महीने में शायद आपको 15-20 हज़ार भी निकालने में दिक्कत हो जाएगी. That is what the independent profession really is, and that's the truth of the story. अब कई लोग कहेंगे अरे क्या बोलते रहता है, डीमोटिवेट करते रहते हैं, ये है वो है. देखिए जो सच है सच है, सच हमेशा कड़वा होता है. अब मेरी इंटेंशन क्यों होगी किसी को डीमोटिवेट करने की? मतलब मेरे को क्या मिलेगा उससे? नथिंग. सिंपल सी बात है, आप अपना बैकग्राउंड चेक करके ये सारी डिसीजंस लेंगे, then only will these answers really come, or rather become clear to you. And that's about it. So it isn't about that how old you are, it is about where you're coming from, where you wish to go, and your circumstances in life. Like अभी एक मेरा TLOI talks के अंदर ही एक LLM from abroad के ऊपर मेरा perspective है that if you end up coming back here, then things, मतलब अगर आप from a humble financial background से हैं, और अगर आपने 50-70 लाख का लोन ले लिया for a LLM from abroad and then you're back here, तो फिर दिक्कत हो जाएगी. that video, the discussion was for that audience, but उसमें भी लोग गाली वाली बहुत लिख के जाते हैं. तो मतलब भाई वो किसी और ऑडियंस के लिए. आपके पास पैसा है, आपके पिताजी के पास पैसा है, जाइए ना, जाइए प्लीज. दीज रूट्स आर मेंट फॉर यू. But let us say somebody coming from a place which is beyond a tier 3 town, who's willing to take an education loan, go there and just disrupt his entire financial life and standing and background, and takes him like 20-30 odd years just to get out of this massive student debt, just for a master's degree, only to end up being back in the country at 25-28,000 rupees per month. What was the point? You could have earned it any which way without even spending that extra 70 odd lakhs. So the trouble is that the advice which is catered to, it applies to different audiences. तो ऐसा आप मत समझिएगा कि किसी भी चीज़ का कोई क्लियर कट आंसर है ही नहीं. देर आर नो येस एंड नोज इन लाइफ. देर इज एवरीथिंग दैट इज नोन एज आंसर दैट अप्लाइज ऑन यू. देश काल पात्र की बात, राइट? द प्रिंसिपल टू अप्लाई प्रिंसिपल्स इज देश काल पात्र. तो यही पूरी सिचुएशन है, एंड hopefully this makes sense to you. Hopefully it has been helpful to you. All right, wishing you all the very best. Take care. Bye.